Adventure Time is very much a series I have a love-hate relationship with. I initially caught up on the entire series about 2 summers ago, and was incredibly excited for Season 6, but... dear God, I hate Season 6 of Adventure Time. It becomes so pretentious with how deep it's trying to be rather than being funny and creative. Do you hear me, Moynihan? Breezy's is crap! And it's because of this I ended up not finishing Season 6, let alone start Season 7. However, I made one exception for the series. Stakes. Stakes is Cartoon Network's newest miniseries based on Adventure Time. The miniseries centers on Marceline and her dealing with her past and future, and who she really is and how she as a person can mature when she stayed the same physical age for 1,000 years. Marceline has been my favorite character ever since I started watching the series, and I think you know why. Girls got bangs. In Stakes, Marceline decides that she no longer wants to be a vampire and enlists the help of Bubblegum to cure her of her vampirism.
Well, great. Now I'm not even interested.
Around the same time, 5 vampires from Marceline's past mysteriously return, seeking to wreak havoc on the world of Ooh La La.
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la.
I think what's most interesting about each of the vampires is how, for the most part, each is named after major arcana found in the Tarot deck. Each vampire is accompanied with a gimmick and personality trait that helps them stand out within the series. The Vampire King is suave and well-spoken, kinda like Dracula, and has immense powers as one would suspect. He also has a pretty great design, though I want to know what's with the chicken legs he has.
Chickens are fast!
Vampirus is prissy and has that whole Bela Lugosi enslavement thing going on with her eyes. Plus, she can become invisible.
The blood. The good blood with the gold leaf flaked into it.
The gold leaf was stupid. It didn't taste like anything.
The moon is pretty mysterious, but has the ability to heal herself. The Hierophant is probably my favorite as he's the stereotypical old-fashioned Nosferatu vampire who can transform.
Nosferatu!
Then there's the Fool. He's pretty much the insane vampire archetype, but it's hard to say. It reminds me of the Leprechaun if he was a vampire.
A ring around a rosy, a bucket full of posy.
Now, is the special any good? I'm happy to say it actually is. Is it anything amazing or groundbreaking? No. In no way is it amazing, but it is fun. Something I can't say about some other parts of Adventure Time! We get some more details on the world and the lore of the universe, though, sadly enough, it's kind of minute in the amount that we actually get. The majority of these details are actually just contained within one episode, and the episode is pretty early on. It kind of sets you up to think that a ton of light is going to be shed on Marceline's past, and a little bit is shed in the following episode, but after that, nope. Not really much is revealed, and it's kind of disappointing in that way. Just like some other parts of Adventure Time! The special also saw the return of Rebecca Sugar, who had been mostly known for her storyboarding and the songs she wrote for the show before she left to create Steven Universe. And dear God, the song Sugar wrote for this special is good. Yeah. Just pour some sugar on me. The writing and characterization, for the most part, is pretty strong. Each of the characters feel like themselves, with Finn being the goofy hero and Jake being the other goofy hero who's a bit more mature.
Alright, come on. I'll let you be bad cop.
I'm already bad cop.
I think one of the more interesting things about Jake in this special is the return of his fear of vampires, something pre-established back in Season 1, but was consoled by Marceline's personality over time. However, as this is Marceline's story, these two take a step back from the limelight to let Marceline truly shine. Peppermint Butler is fantastic, and Marceline is as cool as ever, with an attempt to push her character arc forward throughout the whole ordeal. Phoebe is her usual cold self and probably has one of the best lines she's ever spoken within the series in the first episode of the special.
And someday, when you die, I'll be the one who puts you in the ground.
Speaking of humor, the special is actually pretty funny. There's a lot of witty and downright dumb jokes, but it's Adventure Time. And I can't stress it enough that it is Adventure Time. The Adventure Time that we all grew to love over the initial 5 seasons. But it's also because it's Adventure Time that also suffers from some difficulties and problems. The pacing in the miniseries is honestly not the best. The beginning and the end are very well set up and executed, but the middle of the main series suffers from being episodic in its nature. It kind of results in very little time to flesh out each of the new characters. I feel that had the miniseries been given at least 2 more episodes, these pacing issues could easily be resolved. We're getting into spoiler territory here with these complaints, so skip to the time on the screen to avoid any spoilers. One of my smaller problems with the miniseries is how it kind of forgets about some plot points it initially brings up or just doesn't explain. Like how in the first episode there's all these animals who are being turned into vampires, and that's never brought up again, save for this one cow the Vampire King keeps carrying around. Maybe it'll get brought up again later in the series, but who knows. This entire main series prides itself on stakes, as the name would imply, with the main stake appearing to be Marceline giving up her vampirism, when, in all actuality, it's Marceline growing up and evolving from her hot topic teen phase she's been in for so long. However, it won't really be until later in the series that we'll see whether or not this main series will actually have an effect on her character. Though this is Adventure Time, and I wouldn't put it past them for her to gain nothing from this experience, except maybe the Vampire King appearing in her head from time to time. Adventure Time isn't really known for keeping changes, as can be seen in some episodes of Adventure Time, and that's readily apparent here in how she ends up becoming a vampire again by the end of it. It's strange then that the song written by Rebecca Sugar for the main series, Everything Stays, would be about changes and how even if things don't appear to have changed initially, they may have in small ways. The entire miniseries centers on change, from Marceline wanting to grow up to the song to the Vampire King in the end yelling at Marceline about how nothing has changed and the only way for things to change is to face uncertainty and to embrace it because, in reality, that's the only way anything changes. And again, it's really weird that Adventure Time would focus on the idea of changes when they're so bad about keeping changes themselves. And again, this is still apparent within the miniseries, especially with how in the end Bubblegum is the ruler of Ooo again, after a very short stint with the King of Ooo as acting ruler. Maybe Adventure Time can change after this, but with things like this, it's hard to believe any changes in the series will ever have a lasting impact on the show. And speaking of changes, oh my god is the bubbling strong in this miniseries. There are so many instances of the show being like, hey, we know you want this, and you know we're going to push it really hard, but we're never going to go through with it. Seriously, guys, Clarence and Cora already did it, you might as well make it official. It's because of things like this I have a hard time justifying the theme of changes and the stakes they're going for, because in all reality, nothing really changes in this show. Stakes is a good miniseries, but it's not the best. It's kinda like a sirloin steak, except if that was way better and edible. Stakes has slight pacing issues and tries its hand at ideas that in any other series might work, but here don't really resonate well with the series' past. However, it is a good return to the series' comedic roots, as well as its attempts to tell a simple story while giving us small details about the world, even if the amount they gave us in this case can be a little lacking. In the end, Stakes is a fun time, but it doesn't compare to another main series that Cartoon Network produced. One that kind of has a Thanksgiving aesthetic. And you know, Thanksgiving is coming up, and I do need to make another video. I think you know what I'm getting at here. Freebirds! Wait, that's not a mini-series. Till next time, where we decide to go over the garden wall.
When everything stays.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. I'm gonna do a quick update here because, you know, I don't feel like filming an update video, you know, because those kind of suck, and I've done those before, and blah, 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 blah. Quick update. Basically, this channel is going to become bi-weekly in its uploads. This is kind of one of those few cases where I was like, this is a time-based thing. I kind of need to get this done right away. So that's why this one kind of strays from what's been set up within the past, like, month. So next week is going to be that bi-weekly, that's going to be a video next week, but after that, we'll see another video 2 weeks after that, and so on and so forth, because, you know, bi-weekly. So yeah, 2 videos a month, all the bridging stuff, Blackjack is in the works, I'm getting towards the final thingamaboop of starting to finish up Star Trek and the Abridgment, so that should be done soon. As you can tell, I did not script this in the slightest, so I'm pretty much rambling at this point. Is there even anything else to talk about? Yeah, the follow-up review to Loki RL, that'll probably still be a couple more months than I initially expected. Kind of want to wait until, like, Loki actually appears in the series, and then wait a little bit after that for, like, some of the major plot stuff to actually get going. I do currently have notes written down for when the actual review does come out, so that's kind of underway, but that won't be for a little while longer, so, yeah, so, thanks again for watching, there's some other videos here if you want to watch. There's gonna be the last video I did, which was a video on Halo 2 and the first level, and how that kind of helps introduce the player to the game, as well as a random video. Probably gonna be my Grinch Night review. Yeah. Grinch Night, that was a wacky special. That was my Halloween special, so you can watch that. Yeah. Okay. I've been rambling. I've been sitting here recording all this stuff for probably about a while now. Over like about 40 minutes now I've been recording. So yeah, I'm gonna go eat food. Okay, goodbye.
Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes.